Hi, Narai here with Oracle Moon Messages. I am a tarot reader, and I just came back after a little break and decided I would share some things. This is more for my subscribers than anything. So I will say for years, been on a self-discovery journey. I would say it's been pretty intense since 2019. 2019? 2020. Since 2020. I had a breakup. It has been just a bunch of highs and lows. I suffered really bad depression that year. Ended up having to walk away from somebody that I really cared about. Essentially, I had to break my own heart to save myself because those relationship was just depleting. I felt so used and taken advantage of. The person was treating me shitty, but they were treating me shitty because I was staying. And I decided, you know what? You don't deserve my love. I'm leaving. And I realized that I was fighting. I was fighting to make a relationship work where the other person just seemed like they just really couldn't give a shit. And I was like, you don't deserve me. You don't deserve me. And so I got out of that. I was very heartbroken, really devastated, as a matter of fact. It was affecting my job and everything. And it wasn't because the person was so great. It was because for the first time, I totally unconditionally loved somebody outside of my family. I'm 47 now. We'll be 48 in January. But it's like, that was a lot for me. And then shortly after that, in the following year, I had to take leave for depression. And that was after dealing with someone else, because I didn't take time to heal. Dealing with somebody else that tried to make me feel bad about myself, saying that I changed so much. Almost like you got with this person and he fucked you up. Like, you're fucked up now. You're really damaged, and I see the damage in you. And it was kind of like, you're trying to manipulate me into doing what you want. And so I walked away from that person, and they reached out and was like, don't ever reach out to me again because I want nothing to do with you. And then what happens? This person reaches out to me later down the line. But I ended up falling into a really bad depression. I had been in depression mode for months and really didn't realize how bad it was until I couldn't do my job. I couldn't do my job. I had to take leave. In that May, I was supposed to go to my best friend's house in another state to celebrate her son's graduation. And that didn't happen because I forgot, because I had so much going on mentally. Like, getting through each day was a challenge. Waking up for me was a challenge. And I had a friend checking on me that knew, and it's really sad because this friend had gone through things later in life and would not allow me to be that support system for them, and that's like really kind of hard to deal with. But they say people handle things differently. But anyway, after me dealing with this breakup and this depression period, my best friend breaks up with me too. She totally blocks me. And I didn't understand why. And I felt like I was falling into a depression again. And it's like, why is this happening? And it's like, it was one thing after the other. And I turned to tarot to kind of help me heal. And then later on that year, in November or December, I was like, holy shit. I was supposed to be at her son's graduation, and I wasn't there because I was trying to live. I was trying to survive each day. And she had no idea. And we're not even friends now. And I don't want to be her friend because I was calling to explain and she blocked me. And I was like, what in the fuck is this? And so now, now I'm in a situation where I totally understand why she's not my friend. Because I'm dealing with the same type of thing with somebody in my life and I don't fucking like it. And I'm realizing I have friends and I don't even know why we're fucking friends. So I cut everyone off. I am on a phone fast, a social media fast. I don't want to talk to anyone. I'm figuring me out. I'm still healing some things. I'm tired of letting outside forces affect how I fucking feel about myself. So we're not going to let that happen anymore, but I'm also tired of letting outside forces affect my mood. So I'm trying to take better control of that. But I, in the last few weeks, went on a little leave from tarot. And between the last new moon and this new moon, I've experienced a lot. And so I did a meditation a few weeks back. It was a meditation on YouTube by Mind Valley. It was like a clip of a conference or a retreat or seminar that Mind Valley was having. It was about getting in touch with your spirit guide. And I've tried these things before and they've never worked out for me. And so I did it this time. And during the meditation, the whole time that my eyes were closed, I was crying. And I saw two people. I have one on my left side. She is in between Goddess Oshun and Bella from Beauty and the Beast. She's black, brown like me. And then I have a gentleman on my right side. He looks like a black god, and his eyes are blue like my contacts. And his hair is kind of like mine too, just short. And he's chiseled and he's got like a fur vest on. And I felt them and I actually heard them. And that was a very special moment for me. And I even have names for them and I even had to look up the names. And coincidentally, I don't want to say her name. I don't want to say his name either. But her name ended up being and I didn't even know it was a female name. It was just the name that popped up into my head. It ended up being a feminine Muslim name. And I grew up Muslim. I'm just a spiritual fruit. But his name ended up being like a Russian Slavic type name. And I was just like, whoa. You're mixed, right? Is your spiritual mom from Russia? I was just like going through all kinds of things. But there are black people with blue eyes for real. But mine are contacts. Anyway, so I experienced that, and it's funny because some people actually hear spirit guides, like actual voices, like you hear me. I don't. I have a thought, and it's like it's a thought in my mind that's very loud on a certain side of my head. And that's how I know who it is. So that is very interesting for me because I've never experienced anything like that. And so that was a wonderful day for me. And so yesterday was the new moon. Bless me. Yesterday was the new moon. Tonight is the new moon too. And I went to sleep last night and I had the strangest dream. Strangest dream. And the dream, I fell asleep on my futon in my living room. In my dream, I was sleeping on the futon in my living room. And I woke up. I woke up and looked at my front door, and my front door was open. And I was like, what in the fuck? And so I looked at the door, I looked at my purse, and I was like, did somebody go in my purse? And so I looked at my purse, and then I was like, wait a minute, is somebody still in here? And I heard something. So I'm walking towards the front door in my dream, and then I feel this heavy energy pass by, but it's like a translucent blur. You know, kind of like when you watch Predator and the predator is like invisible, but you can see that invisibleness that's blurred. It kind of like that. And I was like, holy crap, what the hell is this? And so I then hear a masculine voice, and I'm like, holy crap. And then I felt like it was somebody from my past. And I was like, well, what does that have to do with my door being open? And so I was like, I don't know. And then the next thing that came to mind was, I need to cleanse this space. I need to cleanse this energy. And in my dream, I have a mallet and I have something else. And I have a tuning fork with a mallet. For some reason, I didn't have the tuning fork, but it was like I had something else. I don't know if it was supposed to be my Tibetan singing bowl. But when I was hitting and expecting that ting, it was not happening. And I was like, what is going on? I need to cleanse the energy. It's not cleansing the energy. And so I did it again and nothing. And I was like, oh my God, I need to go outside. And I think I was looking for incense, but I ended up outside. And I have a rather big balcony. So I go outside on my balcony. And if I didn't say it already, I heard a man's voice. I don't remember what they said. But I go on my balcony, and I'm a plant mom, and so I have plants on my balcony. But I noticed at the far end of my balcony where there's a little a gate, bars. The bars weren't there, and there was like a drop off, but it went on to a rooftop balcony. So it was like I had my balcony, and then I had this extended balcony that was a rooftop, kind of like what you see in movies in New York, a movie scene in New York or something like that on a rooftop. And so I was like, holy moly, what is this? And I see all these red flowers. And I was like, these flowers look very familiar. I know I've seen these with my mom. I know I saw this. Maybe my mom had these flowers, but I'm seeing them in red. And I saw them everywhere. And it was like all these plants, all these flower plots with these red plants. And so I come back inside and I wake up. Now, in between me having this dream and waking up, I had already woken up at like 7 or 8 something in the morning. And then I went to sleep, and then when I woke up, it was almost noon. I don't sleep that late. And so I wake up from this dream, and then I'm trying to figure out, why did I have this dream? Why did I have this dream? And so I'm looking at the door, I'm looking at the door, and my door is metal. I have a lot of dry erase note cards that I put on my door and I write things on them. But I have this laminated printout that says love yourself. And so I keep looking at that. I've been looking at it all day. And I'm looking at it and I'm still trying to figure out, what did this dream mean for me? And then I got kind of emotional because I knew it had something to do with my mom. And my mom is still alive, by the way, but I've always had issues with our relationship because I just felt like my dad has always defended me, and she's been mad and she's criticized me and judged me, and it's just been very rough. Things have gotten better now that I'm older, but I felt like it had to do with my relationship with my mother. And so what it made me think was that I still have, with the door being open, it was like this much and I could see light coming in from outside. So it just lets me know that I'm almost where I need to be, or I'm almost where I want to be. I don't think I'm where I need. I think where I need to be and where I want to be are two different places. I think I'm where I need to be, but I'm not where I want to be. And I feel like I need to be at a certain place before I open the door to allow anyone into my life. Because I feel like I've had a really hard time in love. And part of it was part of it has to do with being with somebody, having someone in your life that you felt like never was satisfied and always had something critical to say. It's like needing to prove yourself. And I realized in that last relationship, it was like I was trying to prove myself to somebody that didn't even deserve me in their life in the first fucking place. And so I'm never going to be in a situation where I need to prove myself. And I realize also, when it comes to friendships, if our friendship is requiring a lot of work out of me, I don't want any fucking part of it, because I don't like feeling like I'm chasing somebody to be my freaking friend. You're either my fucking friend or you're not. And I kind of feel like at this point in my life, I just need to say that my friends, they're very limited. I already didn't have very many friends. Now I have less. I feel like everyone in my life just needs to be an associate. I have a friend in Georgia from elementary school. She's friend. But I feel like for everyone else, because it's so stressful for me, and I really don't want to socialize that much anymore. I just really feel like I need to protect my energy. I don't want to hear negativity. I don't want to hear somebody lying about what they're doing. I don't want somebody to lie to me about why they weren't available when I know they have their phone all the time. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to listen to somebody talk about all this work they're doing when it's clear they're not. I don't want to hear it. And so I'm kind of at that point in my life, and it's like, I realized there will always be a possibility that somebody will try to come into my life that can hurt me. I am going to probably still have people in my life that say they're my friends that are going to make me feel bad or ignored. And it's like, I don't want anyone outside of me to affect how the fuck I feel. I do want to also add that in regards to the door being open in my dream and just the dream overall, I struggle with binge eating at times when I am like not in the best emotional state. And I notice that that has been happening often. And it's almost like me struggling with my emotions personally. And so it just, today, like when I was thinking about the dream, I was like, why do I do that to myself? Why do I do that to myself? And I realized I am allowing people outside of myself affect how I feel, and I don't like it. So I have friends that are just friends, and they don't make me feel any kind of way other than we've got a great friendship. And then I have others where it just feels like a lot of work, and I'm allowing that to get to me, and I'm over it. And I realized, because I've not been in a romantic relationship almost 2 years, and so I realized that's not been the source of my issues. The source of my issues have been my friendships. And so I think I have friendships that I allow to affect me emotionally that I just don't need to be in anymore. And so I need to distance myself from everybody. And so with this dream, it just let me know that even though I'm not where I want to be, I'm where I need to be right now. And that I don't need to be so shut. I can leave a little room for love, as long as I have self-love. And I will continue loving myself. And it allowed me to know, first I felt like it was me still being victim to my mother, but I kind of sat there with myself and I said, you know what? I realized why my best friend from high school stopped being my friend, because I feel that way now. I'm in her situation where I feel that way now. So now I know how that feels. And then I had somebody that I felt like was smothering me and trying to force me into a relationship. And I was like, maybe I made somebody feel like that in the past. But normally I have been in relationships with people. The last person I was in a relationship with, but I think I was in a relationship with him and he was not in a relationship with me, and maybe that made him feel smothered. I don't know. I really don't give a shit at this point. Because like I said, he does not deserve for me to be in his life whatsoever. So, but apparently I needed that to help me work on some things. Please don't give yourself credit, because you don't deserve it. That's my doing. Anyway, but I realize I don't need to be so shut off to love. I need to focus on loving myself. I can't be worried about friends and why they're not talking to me, why they leave me hanging, why a friend is putting their shit on me and making me responsible for how they feel about stuff. Like, I don't have time for it. I am going to be focused on myself, and if I sound selfish, so be it. Self-care is no fucking joke. Self-care is painful. And with self-care and personal growth, you will learn that you will outgrow people, and that you will question sometimes why you're even friends with people anymore. And so I had these thoughts, and I'm realizing now I have been so closed off to love. I haven't even wanted to meet anyone. I had somebody in my life that wanted something, but I don't want to go backwards. And I realized I would be settling. And I would be settling because it's great for somebody to want to be with me because they admire me and look up to me and things. But as a man, I want to feel that same way about the person that I'm with too. And I don't have anyone in my life like that. And guys, when a woman is asking you questions about why you don't do certain things, it's probably because that's what she's looking for. Just saying. But I cried this morning. I looked up the flowers. And I had texted my brother and I said, I'm still giving mom control over me. But I realized, no, I'm not. I'm not allowing my mom to have control over me. I thought that I was, but no, I'm not. Because what I realized I'm doing for myself is I am giving myself that motherly love. I'm being the mother that I needed. I'm giving myself the motherly love, the nurturing, the care, the encouragement that I needed. I'm giving to myself. And let me tell you, something clicked for me today. Something clicked for me so much today. And I pulled some oracle cards for myself. And one of them had to do with me focusing on what I needed. Another one had to do with forgiveness. Another one had to do with confidence. Another one had to do with goals. But I looked up the flowers. The flowers that I saw were impatience. And then I looked up the flowers on an app. And the first thing that showed, and if you don't know what impatiens looks like, this is what they look like. These are impatiens. And when I looked up the flowers today, I looked them up in a flower app, and there was a quote, and I'm all about magic. It said, "But here's a magic cometh new, a joy to gladden thee indeed, this passionate outflowering of the jewel weed." And that was by Florence Earl Coates. And you will never guess what these flowers symbolize. They symbolize motherly love. Motherly love. I thought I was going to die. I was like, holy cow. It lets me know that I'm supported. I'm focused on me. I'm focused on taking care of me because I realize everyone's worried about themselves. I feel like a lot of people don't care how they make you feel. They are worried about themselves. And that is perfectly fine. And then the next thing I noticed was later on in the day, I picked up my clock, my phone, and it said 14:14. And then I looked up 14:14, and I was like, wow, it's read like the impatiens. And when I looked up the meaning, it says 14:14 in angelic numerology hints that you need to focus on your desires and needs. This is a good sign that entails self-realization, spiritual growth, and the embodiment of inner fulfillment. Your guardian angel has finally answered your prayers and is ready to help. So I feel like this dream had to do with my spiritual journey and my self-love journey, my self-worth journey, and letting me know that I'm okay and that I have the love that I need, and just to continue giving it to myself and not to close myself off to love. And I realize when I meet someone else, when I finally meet that person, I'm just going to go with it. I'm not going to plan anything. I'm not going to say, oh my God, this is it. This is the one. Because I see that happen all the time. I'm just going to make sure that I'm where I need to be. But I'm not going to allow a friendship to make me feel bad or to stress me out or to feel like a lot of work, because I'm just not going to want to deal with it. I'm at that point. I'm going on 48. I don't have fucking time to be playing around. Not with girls, not with guys. Not with friends, not with lovers. I don't have time. And so I'm not trying to rush anything. I just don't need time wasters. And I feel like we outgrow people. This is why friendships end, because people outgrow people. And so, yeah, I just wanted to share that. This was more for my subscribers than anything. I hope that this helps someone. I will say that my nose itches. That when it comes to relationship with a parent or somebody that's hurt you, don't sit around waiting for that person to make it right. Don't leave control in someone else's hands. Take the bull by the horns and say to yourself what you wish that person would say. Because some people have too much pride and ego to apologize or even admit that they have done anything wrong. Some people don't want to remember on purpose, and some people are ashamed. They would never admit it because they would throw it in your face. They don't want it thrown in theirs, and that's how they view people. So know that you have the power to heal. And the first start of that is focusing on self-love. And instead of looking for someone to share your life with and love with all of your heart, make sure you're doing that for yourself first. It's great to have somebody to share your life with, but if you don't fully, completely love yourself and you have not worked on your issues, it doesn't matter how many people you meet, it's not going to work out. And if it does, it's going to be dysfunctional. But it's our responsibility to heal. And I realized today that I really, really thought I was never going to be completely healed of mommy issues, because there's certain things that my mom has said to me that I brought up and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I never said that. And I'm like, okay, I remember, because I'm the one that was traumatized by it. But anyway, I forgave myself. I forgave my mom a long time ago, but it's like I didn't forgive myself for holding on to it for so long. I finally forgave myself for holding on to it for so long today. So I think when it comes to personal growth, it's easier to just isolate for like a week or two and just not talk to anyone. I'm actually going to do this until my 48th birthday in January. So we're going to see how this turns out for me. I didn't do any tarot readings today because I was a little too emotional to do them. And today is a healing day for me, I guess. Thanksgiving. Thanks. I ate ice cream and pizza. I didn't feel like cooking because I was like, nope. I'm going to figure out how to continue this journey, because as painful as it has been off and on, I really feel like I reached a point that I never thought I would reach, and I'm so excited about it. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. I know it was a lot. I'm sure a lot of people aren't going to relate to this, but I wanted to share, because you have people on YouTube and their videos are perfect and everything is perfect and everything is wonderful, and sorry, it's shitty. It is shitty, and you will have friendships that you feel like are shitty now, and you will feel shitty at times, and it is what it is. But I am working on changing my thinking too, and I expect only the good. I'm expecting the good. I'm expecting I'm expecting new things, new beginnings, new people. But not till next year because I'm kind of in isolation. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. If you have issues with your mother, I will say, and I'm not sponsored by them and they're not asking me to do this, but I did take a course by dailyohm.org and it was called Healing the Mother Wound. They have nice self-paced course to take. That was a great course for me, and so I took that maybe going on 2 years ago, and so that was a really good course for me. So if you're having issues with your mom, I would encourage that and go from there. And I would even say if you have issues with your dad, just go through that course and change it to the father. So that's what I'm gonna leave you with. I thank you for watching. Please like my video. If you're into tarot, subscribe. You know, I may come out with some more videos like this. I would like to expand my channel a bit. But I love you guys and I hope you are well, and love yourself because you're amazing and you deserve all the wonderful things the universe has to offer. Bye.